car's back up in the air. We got the downpipe off. We're adding some more sensors to the car. So we got the exhaust gas temperature sensor right here. And we're gonna be running these digital gauges. Light up amber, the same color as the interior. So those should be pretty cool. We got one for the exhaust gas, we got one for the oil temp, and we got one for the boost. So right now we're working on wiring these all up for the interior and hooking up all the sensors. The last video cut early just because I didn't have enough battery, and even right now I don't have a lot of battery, so we'll try to make this one quick. As of right now, we got this little panel in place. It's holding the 3 gauges that we have set up. So I'm probably going to redo this whole center console still, but as of right now, all these 3 gauges works. We got our exhaust gas temperature sensor, we got our oil temperature sensor, and also the boost map sensor. We got some new wheels and tires. I downsized. I got some 15s right here, some style 32s, and I put some chunkier sidewall all-terrain, all-season tires on it, and we got some new shocks. So these are the flat-out GR40s. So this is going to be more of a rally style build now. It's going to lift it up in the air. We got a little bit of sidewall and everything. So while I have the shocks out, we are welding in the reinforcement plates, but we got this side welded in over here. Oh. We're gonna get all the suspension installed. We're gonna get the strut towers all buttoned up. Transmission's already back in, obviously, and we go from there. All right, more of an update. We got the towers all welded in and painted. We also got all the suspension in. You can see the front right here. And the knuckles we had to chop and cut just a little bit to make clearance. It is unbelievably close with the wheel, so maybe we'll swap out to a different size of wheel in the future, but we're gonna go through these tires. I did take it for a little test drive, and my fuel pump ended up taking a crap. I hope it was just a faulty fuel pump and nothing crazy. So what I did is I put the original fuel pump back inside the tank. That way it's submerged and staying nice and cool. So now I'm running the factory fuel pump. Because I'm doing that, I rewired it. So now the ECU is running through the original X20 port. Just makes it look a little bit nicer. I tied up everything to make that look nice. And then also in the rear right now, so you can see the rear suspension's in. So what we're working on right now is for the trailing arm. Not that I don't have enough adjustment, but I don't have enough adjustment. So I bought these plates that allow for more toe adjustment, but the welds look like shit. So we're gonna grind them down. We're gonna weld up the bottom side and then burn through and then weld up the front side. Just give it a lot more support, and we're gonna get those in. So fuel pump swapped out. We got all the suspension done. We're gonna finish up the toe adjustment in the rear to get us a little bit more. And then I'll take a video and show how the car sits. Got a bit of ground clearance, which makes it a lot less hairball for going over crazy speed bumps and train tracks. But let's hope the fuel pump works a lot better and we get this thing on the track. All right, we put the toe brackets in, so we got a lot more toe now and everything like that. All the alignment is all good and everything like that. Obviously, you can see that the driver's seat is now out of the vehicle, and that is because we are putting another seat in it. So I just got this today, and the race day is tomorrow. So we swapped out the fuel pump. I'm still running went back to running one in the gas tank. It's a Walbro 535, and because it uses so much more power, I end up having to put a different relay system. So this one's a 30 to 40 amp relay system, and you can't see it because it's all tucked in there, but you can see a couple spare wires maybe. So those are running to a relay that's underneath this right trim cover, and that is running directly to the fuel pump, so we don't have to deal with any power problems or anything, or blowing any fuses or frying any wire. And now the original wire that was running the fuel pump is now triggering the relay. So vehicle's running, we're gonna get the seat in and see how it goes. All right, so race day already went. I didn't film anything from the race day. I was just more focused on just getting the car working and driving and everything like that. Goods and bads. The E36 did great. It had a lot of laps, but we did have a lot of faults and problems here and there. One of the simple ones, intercooler hose just kept on popping off lap after lap. The one right here that you can see with the normal hose clamp. So while I was at the track, I just flared out the ends a little bit, threw a hose clamp on, and that actually solved the problem for now. So that's for the intercooler. You can see all the fluid So that, we got a power steering. So the power steering line right here on both of the fitting ends just started pouring out. I don't know if it just got too hot or what, but because that line went, I got one special made. So exact same length, exact same setup, just running down to the pump down there. But hopefully this will be a lot better of a line than the one I made, and we have zero problems. We also have a cooler coming in. So from the rack, we're gonna put a cooler right behind the kidney grills and then run it back to the reservoir. Also, you get to see the seat finally. Also, I'm putting some more gauges in. So I got some new gauges. They're gonna go up behind the steering wheel, nice and ricey. And then I got these, got different sensors. So we're gonna be monitoring oil pressure, oil temperature, and also power steering temperature with these instead. Also on the engine, my coolant temperature right now, the reading on this one for the normal gauge is getting read after the radiator. So I bought another water neck for the engine that allows me to put the sensor right after the engine. That will give me a better reading. Also, the fuel neck does not fit the diesel pump. So I ended up putting a funnel and just filling it up that way. And I overfilled the system. So it sucked because I was dumping a bunch of diesel all over track, but I also found that my sending unit has a crack on this side. So we got a new sending unit for the side without the pump and a couple new O-rings for both sides. Hopefully we can eliminate all fuel leaks at that point. As of right now, we're gonna finish up getting the gauges installed. We're gonna put a thermostat in it and everything else. All right, so we got the car back in the garage and off the trailer, which means that the power steering line worked. We're gonna end up draining that again in order to put the cooler up in the front, but that hasn't arrived yet, so I'm not gonna worry about that. We got the exhaust downpipe, we pulled that off. I got a bung welded onto it, so that's gonna feed to the other sensor. It's gonna go up on top of the steering column. You can see that the intake is off of it. That's because we're doing the water neck. We're replacing this plastic one right here with this metal one. And this metal one has a couple fitting areas for the coolant temperature sensor. So we're gonna get a coolant temperature off the engine and off the cold side of the radiator. While we got the cooling system drained, we're gonna replace the thermostat. Also burning a little bit of oil. So hopefully it's not the turbos. I don't think it is. I hope it's just this. So this is just the PCV or the CCV valve that goes on top of the valve cover right here. Nice, simple, and easy. Just has a diaphragm in there that goes bad. So we're gonna swap that out. Hopefully it stops eating some oil and go from there. All right, so we got the intake off. We just finished up swapping out the thermostat, which is right here, which was good because it had a crack right here. It wasn't leaking yet, but the old plastic water neck was. This is the new aluminum one. They got rid of all the O-ring fittings, so it's just the hose clamps. I also swapped out some of the ones going to the heater core and swapped out the one going from the expansion tank. Right now we got a vacuum pulled on the system, just making sure it doesn't leak. As of right now, we've been waiting about 5 minutes and it hasn't moved at all. So system looks like it's holding fantastic. We're gonna fill it up some of this blue Gatorade down here. We're gonna try not to drink any, but if it happens, it happens. So fill up this cooling system. We're gonna get the intake back on, finish up wiring up some of the sensors, and then we got a box over there from Summit. So we're gonna open up that. I think it's all the power steering cooler lines and all that. So we're gonna get those hooked up and we'll get some video of that. All right, so power steering cooler is right here. It's put at a tilt because it's actually a little bit taller than I was expecting, but it has a couple fans also. So I went ahead and already wired up all those and got the relay over here. I already did one track day since that last video. Power steering system did great. The only thing I ran into is the expansion tank cooling cap was old and it ended up having failure, which ended up blowing, which ended up causing the engine to overheat. I think we're all good though. I've been driving it quite a bit since and we seem good. So we got a new cap on it. It actually had so much pressure it blew out the corner light. So I just bought new tail lights and corner lights for everything. As of right now, I am pulling back the radiator. I am pulling out this Mishimoto fan and swapping it over to this brushless one right here. This one is going to pull a bit more CFM, so hopefully I can get the engine to cool down a little bit more too. I'm looking at hood louvers right now for the hood to try to get even more air out. This next track day, we're running a shroud. Hopefully I can make one. I got a piece of metal over there, so we're gonna make a shroud, run the better fan. We're gonna run these fans, and then hopefully we can keep the thing a little bit cooler and do more than a couple laps, which is what I've been doing. But as of right now, we're gonna upgrade the fan, build a little shroud, hopefully pull some more air, and we'll go from there.